Hey everybody, Mark Walters of BigFanboy.com. I'm here at San Diego Comic-Con and I've run into Dean Deblois. It's Deblois, right? That's like or I'm close enough.
Deblois, yeah.
Deblois, yeah. And well, of course we had Dean in Dallas when we were doing How to Train Your Dragon showing at Dallas International Film Festival. You've got How to Train Your Dragon coming out, and this is really exciting because one of the reasons that you came out here was you premiered this poster by Drew Struzan, which is amazing, and showed some footage and whatnot. Everybody's reacting wonderfully to this, as we all expected that they would. But, you know, I mean, it obviously is a great journey because I guess when you made the first film, there's no way to know if it's going to be a hit or not. Nowadays, you never know, especially with animated films. So now that you are on kind of the second leg of this journey, you know, what can fans expect? What are we going to see, you know, happen with Hiccup this time around? I mean, we've seen a hint of it, obviously, in the trailers so far. So, you know, tell people where this is headed.
Well, the fun thing about it is we end the first movie with dragons, with Vikings on the backs of dragons, so the whole world is open to them. And one of the conceits that I pitched from the beginning was that we start 5 years later, so we can do something that's rarely done in animation, where we can age our characters, the entire cast. We also get to skip past the immediate problems of assimilation, you know, dragons into the island of Berk, and kind of left that for the TV series. And so now we can really take a step into the second part of Hiccup's coming of age. And just being such a curious character and an innovative character, he's been working on you know, aerodynamics. He's built his own version of Viking bike leather. He's out pushing the limits, and his hobby is to just explore beyond the Viking map.
Yeah.
So he's actually finding new lands all the time, and kind of adding to the map in every direction. It kind of sets him up for a perfect situation where he's going to cross a boundary at some point, where he is not a welcome sight. And in fact, in the case of our story, he's mistaken for being a cohort of one side of a conflict that he kind of was crashing into.
Yeah.
So it's a fun thing. We've sort of set up this world where there's a maniac out there who's trying to build a dragon army and commissioning trappers to serve that purpose. And then there's a vigilante out there who's rescuing dragons, and Hiccup finds himself right in the middle of it.
Yeah. Now, one of the things we talked about was there were girls in the audience that, when Hiccup reveals himself, were swooning. When you hear those kinds of reactions, I mean, it's amazing how, you know, intense the reactions that these characters are getting, and I imagine that's very gratifying just from a creative aspect that it has that kind of effect on people.
Definitely, we spent a lot of time working with Hiccup because we don't want him to lose his dorky charm, and it's what made him lovable. And he's kind of the runt of the Viking litter, so we didn't want to abandon that either. But it is 5 years later. He's now a 20-year-old, and we wanted to give him an element of cool, but it's a questionable element of cool in a way. He's still lanky, but with his new outfit, it's something that even his girlfriend asked him to be poking fun at, you know, playing with the little gadgets, and because it's something that he takes kind of seriously, but maybe the others around him not so much.
Yeah. Now, and having the entire cast come back, and then it was announced here at the show, I guess we can tell everybody now, that Kate Blanchett is doing a voice as well.
Yeah.
Was it hard to kind of keep that sort of thing under wraps, you know, to not let people know?
It was. In fact, there were a couple leaks early on that sort of spoiled the surprise a little bit, because you want to pick the right moment to let people know, you know, what we have in store for them, and so it's unfortunate when images and plot details get released, but also super fun. Like, I love that people are so enthusiastic about it, because
they want to know.
There's no one quite like Kate Blanchett out there. She's my favorite actress in the world. To be able to invite her into the process, and the fact that she's a fan of the movie and her boys are fans of the movie, it was an easy sell. So I love it. It's one of the aspirations I've had in live action is to be able to work with people of that caliber, and the fact that I'm getting to work with them in animation, it kind of bridges the divide.
Now, one of the reasons that you were here was to talk about, you know, having Drew do this new poster. When you approached Drew, he was a fan of the film. So, like, that's got to be very gratifying to know that he was not only, because, you know, Drew doesn't watch all these movies, so to know that he was a fan of your work made it easier, I guess, to get that done.
Yeah, and it goes back, too, because it turns out that Lilo and Stitch is one of his favorite movies. Yeah. And How to Train Your Dragon went over really well in his household, and he was in retirement at the time, but I just thought, you know, I want to do something special for this trilogy, and there was having a Drew Struzan poster, sort of a mark of a classic. It just elevates the whole thing. So I loved the idea that we were able to draw him out of retirement and have him bring his just incredible sense of warmth and scope and adventure to our trilogy.
Well, we're going to keep you guys posted on How to Train Your Dragon 2. We'll have more info with Dean coming up. And we're also going to give you guys a chance to win one of those posters.
Absolutely.
Dean's going to send us some posters. So if you've missed it here at Comic-Con, you haven't missed your complete chance. You'll have a chance to win it. More information down below on that. Keep checking out BigFanboy.com. And Dean, it's always great to see you. You've been really cool to me, and I'm so glad to see you have the success that you're having with this. And
thank you.
We're keeping tabs on it, man.
And likewise, thanks for your support and your enthusiasm.
Dean Deblois, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations on all this going so well.
Thanks,
buddy.